Hey everyone, this is Vinay from Gamers Nation again. Today we have a great chassis to review. It's a successor for LANCOOL II. It's the new LANCOOL III. Case is out of the box. The first impression of the case will be it's pretty large compared to the LANCOOL II. The regular system builders will notice that it's pretty large compared that LANCOOL II didn't had a 360 top AIO support. So this one has. So to accommodate that much space, the chassis has to be larger. The front panel of the LANCOOL II, LANCOOL III actually pops out. You can't notice the handles or the mechanism to pop the glass out. So once you open this, you'll notice the glass opens. So this mechanism is like a really smart move to basically keep the aesthetic of the case while also aiding to the functionality of the case. Now when you open this front panel of the case, you get 3 RGB fans. So the LANCOOL III has 2 versions. One is RGB, one is non-RGB. So the non-RGB is targeted towards the workstation people who want to use the machine for its performance, not the aesthetics. And the RGB version is targeted towards the gaming people who want the flashy stuff. As a LANCOOL series characteristic, this case also comes with 2 glass panels, one in the front, one in the back. To open your back side, like to do your cable management and etc., you have to open the back side. You can open it by this. It pops out, and so same for the bottom. Now these panels were fitted or tightened by a thumb screw in LANCOOL II. In this you actually get it magnetic, so you can open it like this, and same goes for this one. You can see there are a number of Velcros for cable management. Also you get space for two 2.5 SSDs, and this is the newly introduced space where you will fit 3 2.5 SSDs. So number of SSDs you can fit in LANCOOL III significantly increases. The LANCOOL II was used to host like 2.5 SSDs. Now it is 5. You will just close it. Coming to the front of the case, you have the same tempered glass that LANCOOL offers. To get inside the case, you have to press this latch and it will pop out. Same for the down. And in the inside, beside the motherboard tray, you can see there are 2 Grommets with elongated openings for your 24-pin ATX cable. Now these Grommets can be shifted to the left or to the right if you loosen the thumb screw on the top, and the space given at the right of the Grommets are basically for your distro plate or pump reservoir. Now the LANCOOL III has been designed keeping in mind that user can use it with a custom cooled config. It was hard in LANCOOL II, so I think it opens a lot of possibilities for the custom cooled PCs. Now the LANCOOL III has a newly designed PSU shroud. It can fit actually 3 120mm fans, and you can take advantage of putting a radiator here. So for your custom cooled configs, you can actually put a 360mm radiator at the bottom. If you use ITX or mini ATX board, it can really help you adding an extra radiator to your custom cooling config. So this can be shifted front or back. You can see you can loosen this screw and just shift it backwards, so you get the space for your tubing when you are using the radiator in bottom config. Now the front of the case where you will fit the front radiator, it has a opening of like 80mm, but if you use the front for putting your radiator, you will have to move the drive cage to the back of the case. So if you're using in that config, like if you're fitting your AIO in the front, you basically have only 2 mount spaces for the HDDs. So consider that before like choosing to put AIO in the front or choosing the AIO in the top. You cannot put in the like bottom of the case, and it's not actually recommended. You can put it, but it's not recommended. As we have covered the basics of the case, like what the LANCOOL 3 can do and how it is different from the LANCOOL 2. So we have chosen a config where we can test the thermal performance of the case in real life. We are going with the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, MSI X570 Tomahawk, and 32 GB RAM from GSKILL Trident Z. We are pairing the CPU with 850 watt power supply from DEEPCOOL, and of course a LIAN 360 AIO cooler. Real life case scenario, any end user customer will go with the Galahad 360 when he is going with the LANCOOL 3. So we are going to test it out. So there are two configurations in this case. One is utilizing the bottom space on the PSU shroud to add extra fans. So it can do a chimney like airflow. It can take air from the bottom and exhaust it out from the top, and one will be without using the fan. So we'll test it out, both of the case scenarios. We'll put the temperatures in CPU idle, CPU on load, GPU on idle, and GPU on load. So let's go with it. As you can see, this is the first configuration where we have not added any fans on the PSU shroud. It looks pretty though. Now for the first thing, we are going on idle. The CPU is not really at any load. You can see the utilization is 1% or 2% like that. Now for the second thing, we are trying it out with Cinebench R23. This software will basically put 100% load on the CPU. You can see the temperatures here going 58.9 or 59.9. Here we will go with the 59.9 as a maximum temperature. After this, we are going with the superposition benchmark, where this will put 100% load on your GPU. Here we are using RTX 3070. You can see as the benchmark completes, the GPU is at 70% when the benchmark was running. As the benchmark completes, you can see the maximum temperature to be 70 degrees Celsius. Now this is the second config where we are adding two bottom fans on the PSU shroud. You can see it will make the airflow like chimney. So it is taking an intake from the bottom and exhausting out from the top fans. You can see the idle temperatures being 34.4 and the minimum it goes till 33.1. So it actually helps for 1 degree in idle. But when the same result doesn't really replicate when we are trying the CPU benchmark. The CPU benchmark is more or less same. It goes on the same temperature when we are running the CPU at 100%. But in the GPU thing, it may change a little bit. Like it can give us advantage of 1 to 2 degrees that we can see in the test. So the on load, the CPU is 58.1 to 59.9. So there is like 0.5 degrees of difference. After that, this is the GPU benchmark. We are going with the same RTX 3070, and you can see the maximum temperature has gone down by 1 degree. So it actually helps if you add two bottom fans on the shroud. This was all for the LIAN LANCOOL 3. Hope you liked the review. Signing off. Happy gaming.